welcome back to episode 6 of my Warcraft story. I hope you're well today. Oh yes, of course, we are back in doing what's our 6th attempt to get the beautiful invincible reins. Yeah, it's gonna happen today. I feel it in my bones. Yeah, I've got to stop feeling that in my bones because it's obviously not working out for me, is it? But let's be honest, I've probably done this 1,000 times anyway, trying to get this horse. So anyway, we'll see how we go. Right, so we'll get through this first little bit here. I'm on Wichita today. My arms! I'm playing arms. I don't know why I'm playing arms. I don't know why. I should have been playing Fury. Not really sure why I've changed spec actually, but anyway, it is what it is. Okay, what am I going to talk about today? Two things actually. No, actually one thing I'm going to talk about quickly. I'm sorry that there wasn't an episode last week, even if you missed it, which I'm sure no one did. The fact is that I did a recording of a episode. Got all the way through, just about to go to Lich King, and I got disconnected. I got a DC, and so that was why there wasn't an episode last week. So I'm probably just going to talk about exactly what I spoke about last week, which is fun for me because obviously I can't remember half of it. Anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is leading on from sort of sidetracked from my Warcraft story per se last week. I'm going to talk about my my raiding. So, and to be honest, it's not exactly a long distinguished career in raiding that I've done, but yeah, I've done a bit. Now, come the end of WoW vanilla, I was running around just PvPing, doing a bit of stuff, and I decided I wanted to play a druid. So I think this is early BC. Karazhan come out BC, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, so I started to play around with a druid. So I started doing it. I'll tell you why it was. Like anything, all roads lead to Rome. And, oh God, please shut up. I've got this real weird thing where I can't listen to two things at once. You know, if someone's speaking to me and there's music on, I find it very, very, very difficult to concentrate on what's been said. And then I had about 4 different voices in my head, and it was doing my head in. Yeah. Can we shut this up? No. Maybe that'll do it. Hopefully. Yeah, it's not like we haven't heard it all 1,000 times before, is it? Yeah, so I was going to talk about when I was I got a druid. I started playing a druid. I really started enjoying playing a druid. I started to enjoy watching people playing druids when I was leveling my shadow priest up to rank 10 in the old ranking system. Rasta was a rank 10 champion. And I was doing a lot of BGs, helping other people get to rank 14, which I never did, unfortunately. I just didn't have the time. I was working and stuff like that, and you had to pretty much be unemployed to go and do that. It's like 18 hours a day for 3-4 months, and it's like, I've got a life and stuff. So rank 10 was as far as I got. I think I've spoke about it before anyway. So following on from that, I really, in my quest to help people get to rank 14, I used to run BGs with a couple of feral druids, and feral druids / tanks, because there wasn't a guardian druid thing in those days per se. You were a feral, so you were a tank and you were a kitty. So yeah, and I really enjoyed the playstyle. I really liked watching them play. I thought, oh, do you know what? I like flag running. Still do. Still love flag running to this day. Not necessarily very good at it, but I do like doing it. And yeah, so I was doing that. And so I started leveling the druid up. I don't know if I had a druid and I got into about level 30. I don't know what happened to that druid. Huh. I think I might have stopped and started again. Anyway, so I got a druid up, started PvPing on him, running a lot of war songs. This is back when it's, yeah, you only had a couple of BGs to choose from. Yeah, so I was doing the war song stuff, that flag running, really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. Thought it was a great class to play. Very versatile, obviously, as people know. Is it going down? And while I was doing this, and this was obviously in the time when you just had a server. So you were playing with and against people from your own server. There was no kind of playing other servers and cross realms, all that crap, different shards. It was all basically server specific battlegrounds, and which I preferred because you know people, you get to know people good and bad, and you get some notorious people, you get some quite famous people within your stratosphere of player base, and that, I think that was good. That was good for the game. Now no one really knows anyone unless you do YouTube videos and stuff like that, and you know, even then you could be playing a completely different name and no one really knows who you are. So not that my ego needs the exercise, but it was just good because I wasn't a big name on my server anyway. I wasn't particularly good at PvP. I enjoyed it. I wasn't particularly good at it. Some say I'm not really good at it now. But, yeah, it's what it is. So yeah, so good, cool. We turned all the dialogue off. That's good. Must remember to turn that back on though in future. So yeah, so I was running around doing that. Really enjoyed it, and I kind of got to meet some people. I met a mate of mine who was also a druid, and he was called Wildwood, and this was on my old server. And we got talking, we got friends, we started running BGs together. So we were both feral druids, and we both used to flag run. And through that also I met another friend of mine called Paula, who was a girl. Obviously, we just got quite good friends, the three of us. And with that, they asked me to join their guild, so I did. I joined their guild. I can't even remember the name of it. It's Curcio something it was. I don't know. I'm sure they will remember. So I started doing some. So I started joining up with them, and they were doing Karazhan, and I'd never done any raiding and stuff like that. But they were such a cool group of people. I'd say probably 99.9% of them were English. You know, they were quite. So obviously you had the same sort of sense of humour and stuff like that. So it was good fun. And I never experienced that really up until that point. I did have a guild previously, was spoken about in one of my old stories, and yeah. So, but apart from that, and they my friends from that time were playing Alliance, and I was now playing Horde. So I didn't really get to speak to them too often. And I did. I think they just stopped playing the game anyway. So I started doing a bit of Karazhan, and it's like, oh, this is really cool, because obviously if anyone's ever done the Karazhan new and old, it was a great raid to do. It was so much fun. Molten Core for me, I mean, I never did it relevant content when it was relevant content, but it always looked so goddamn dull. Whereas Karazhan was good fun. It was good fun. I like the music. Music's always been important with me with these games. It's why I probably like Warcraft so much, because it's always had such cool music. And yeah, so really enjoyed that running Karazhan. And I started to do a bit of, because I was sometimes you know what it's like if you do any kind of raiding or have done in your career of as an MMO RPG fan supporter for whatever. Sometimes they needed a tank, so I did a bit of off tanking. Yeah, I actually did some off tanking on Ghost, my druid back in the day. My cat wants to go up. Yeah. So yeah, that was cool. did some Kara, really enjoyed it. I don't think I was particularly good, but we did have some real good times in there. And then so yeah, I was doing a bit of off tanking, really enjoyed it. And then halfway through Kara, my friend Woody, he said to me, "Hey, why don't you think about going balance?" And I'm like, balance? Why? So, well, because we haven't got a balance druid in the guild, and it would be cool. You might enjoy it. It's a caster rather than. So I think we had 3 feral druids or something like that, and no balance druids. So I thought, all right, okay, I will have a look at it, and I looked at the play style and stuff like that. I thought, oh yeah, this is quite cool. I'll be honest, I don't particularly like the play style now of balanced druids. I really don't. I found in this expat not to be that much fun. I've done a few videos and stuff on it, but yeah, not much fun. I don't think in this expat. But at the time, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great fun. So I started playing a balanced druid, and I got really good on my balanced druid. Certainly in raiding anyway, I was like top damage or near top damage every time. So I kind of got to start playing the nuances of min-maxing your character and getting raid ready and stuff like that, which obviously I've never really done before. And coupled with it was like lightning in a bottle, really. Coupled with some really nice people, and yeah, we became good friends, and we saw each other out of the game as well. They kind of live I live in the south of England, and they kind of lived in the middle of England, and yeah, went up and saw them and stuff like that, where most of them lived. Spent the weekend up there. It was a great time, and yeah, really enjoyed it. And so we all became really close, really good friends. Then we started doing Naxx, the newer Naxx, not the hard one. We started doing that. That was good fun. Really enjoyed that. Again, same group of people, and yeah, we had some really good times in there. I remember doing that one with the. There's like cracks in the floors, like the Harvest Eater or something like that, and that's probably a different place. Gothic, the Harvest Eater. Anyway, there was some cracks in the floor, and you all had to run across. And every single time I died first time, apart from once where I completed the whole lot. I wasn't very good at that one, and you had to run across this floor, and these big flames used to come out, and I was terrible at it. Anyway, apart from that, again, yeah, that's when I sort of started to take it a little bit more seriously, rather than just sort of going, right, okay, this is what you do, you know, mash button this, mash button A, mash button B, and really started to enjoy. I really enjoy it. I actually really enjoyed the raiding. It was good fun, you know. Every week we would try and do better than we did the week before and stuff like that, and. Then what happens inevitably with these things? Some of the people at the kind of top of the guild, like the more influential people, should we say, the more the louder people in the guild, they were kind of like, oh, we want to do quicker content, and we want to do better content. And of course, if you have a friends guild, you have varying degrees of what's the word, skill level, shall we say. You know, some people just are quite happy just going along, standing at the back, having a bit of a laugh, having a beer, and having a good time, whereas some people, you know, they want to get through the content, we got to get on to the next boss, and invariably it all kind of falls apart, because some people would just start getting greedy, and they're just like, oh, you know, it's just a game, man, just play the game. Yeah, so that's what happened. It kind of fractured the group, where a few of them were like, we're going to go and join this other group because they're this other guild because they're doing this stuff, and we're never going to get to do this stuff because we're all too slow at doing it, and you know, one week we can't get any bosses down, and it's like, well, you know, and I was in the camp, but well, this contest isn't going anywhere. It's not like, you know, the end of the world. And because it was people that were quite influential, and other people listened to them, and also they, you know, they were friends of theirs in and around the guild, and probably made up the majority of it. It started to fracture and kind of fall apart, and yeah, so I did probably, I'd say I did all of Karazhan and all of Naxx, and then that's when it kind of fell apart. It was really sad, really, because you know we had good fun, and then obviously, well, then the people kind of left, stopped playing, and went in their different directions. And I say some people were just like really into raiding. I realised I wasn't. After that kind of nucleus of people left, and people you got on with, and not you felt safe with. It sounds a bit silly, but just enjoy. You know, I'm one of these people. I don't like to be. This is why doing this YouTube thing, it's quite a big step for me, because I'm not the most confident person in the world. I'm really not, and I'm quite introverted, and to do this took a lot of courage for me. Not asking, you know, people to feel sorry for me or sympathy or whatever, but so, you know, it took a while for me to get over that, really. And I just thought, well, I'm not going to get involved in that again, because towards the end it was just silly and really pointless. It was just like, well, what's the point of that? Why bother, you know, bringing all these people together and then just sort of go, you know, look at him, all these people together, and then just say, oh well, you know. I thought it was more important that the guild stayed together and we all remained friends than anything else, progression or whatever. I never really understood the whole kind of greed of it all, but this is what people are, I suppose. I never fell out with anyone. I never got annoyed with anyone about it. It wasn't like we were, you know, all rowing and people throwing toys out of the pram. It was just a thing that happened over time, and yeah. So I went back to PvP, really. I went back to doing my PvPing and playing my druid, and that's when I think when I started to sort of get involved in the other classes. So at that particular time I had, so this is still BC, I had my definitive priest, my hunter, stuff like that, and I was just sort of playing each and all classes, really. I wasn't really playing one particular one, I don't think, PvP. Just sort of doing what I can. But then I started to go, I would like to have, you know, one of every class. Because invariably I'll be playing and then I'll go, oh, that looks a cool class to play, or that I like the idea of that. Because obviously in those days also, as opposed to now, it was a lot, you know, the class identity was very important, and they were very, very different. Whereas you can't really say that now. They're quite homogenised, aren't they? They're quite the samey. Even though they look different and the spells look different, they do the same thing, really. You know, everyone's got a stun, everyone's got a, you know, a get out, everyone's got this, everyone's got that, and, you know, everyone's got a big nuke, and it's a lot different now than what it was then. So I just sort of, you know, I'd be playing my then I started getting up classes like Shaman, stuff like that, and which I'd never touched, never played. Paladin, obviously with BC, because the Horde we never had Oh, actually, no. I started playing Alliance, but the Paladin class never just didn't really interest me. A couple of my friends played a Paladin. I saw human Paladins. I couldn't think anything more boring than that. Never really liked playing humans anyway. I just thought, I don't know. If you play a human, that's fine. But it's, you know, you're playing an MMO and it's about class fantasy and stuff. And playing human, I know for a fact, obviously, that a lot of people went human due to the fact of the every man for himself PvP stuff and that like that, and PvPers anyway. That was a real shame about that, because it was just seeing you got all these great sort of race fantasies and everyone's playing humans. It's, oh, Jesus, just because of a racial. And there's a real shame. That really upset me to a point. Obviously, it didn't really matter to us at Horde, but really, it's such a shame that one. You know, it's like orcs now, or blood elves. You know, blood elves are kind of the go-to, and because they got arcane torrent, and it's like orcs are good to go to because they got you get relentless as an honor talent. And so it shouldn't. After 15 years, it shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? Can we go through? Yeah. You shouldn't be like that. You should be able to just play what you want to play. And those sort of little racials shouldn't really exist, I don't think now. I don't think they're very good for the game, really. To actually choose especially now where they've got all these, what are they called? Allied races coming in, you know, like the Magyar and stuff like that. It's like, well, are they all going to have racials as well? And you'd be like looking at them going, oh, this is OP, that's not OP, and why isn't this OP? Why have they got this and we haven't got anything? It's, oh god. Because you can never win. You can never win. And it's a bit silly. Yeah, so over the years, there's a couple of my friends still play from that guild. Two, I think, out of 10, 15 people that are still active within the game. And to be honest, even though, you know, they pop up on the old social thing, I haven't spoken to them for years. You know, I haven't said hello to them for years. They haven't said hello to me for years. So that's a bit of a shame. That was the only real time that. What's this? That was the only real time that I rusted lone spike bulges. What have we got there? Yeah, that's the only real time that I've actually had a guild as such, to a point where I was very integral. Apart from up until this one, a friend of mine, well, I got friendly with him. I think he was a Dutch guy. In this expansion, we started a guild together called Gnomes on a Stick, and he was good fun, really nice guy, and he's kind of stopped playing as well. So yeah, woe is me, but it's that was so BC, so that we had that guild for maybe, I don't know, we kept swapping the names. We were called Equilibrium, we were called something Curcio, something else. There's like 3 or 4 iterations of it, but we were the same core people, and yeah, so we were a good team, BC up until I don't know, probably coming up to Cata, I'd say. So a good 2-3 years, maybe 4 years, and yeah, after that, nothing. I didn't really bother with it. I mean, I could obviously. It's all about the effort you make, isn't it? It's not just a case of going, well, you don't make any effort, so what do you expect? But other things come into it. I don't. For what I play this game for now, I don't need to take sort of windy walks with people and stuff like that. It's nice to have people to talk to and stuff like that. But you know, I have my missus, I have my friends, my family, and people I work with and stuff like that. So it's real life for me, and this is I just come to escape all that and kill things really. And now obviously that's moved into making YouTube videos and stuff like that, and it's obviously grown a lot more than what it was. But yeah, so but at that time that was the golden time for me. Not just the fact that the content was great, because it was, you know, BC was so much fun, Vanilla was a lot of fun, and Wrath was a lot of fun, but due to the fact that, you know, just people moved on, did their own thing, which is fine. Nothing stays the same forever, does it? I don't know. But excuse me. Yeah, I really enjoyed that time. That's why I'm hoping that Classic's going to come in and revitalise some of those interesting aspects of the game that I maybe didn't know I missed. Again, with that, I don't know whether I'm going to make videos of it. I don't know whether I'll be making videos of it by the time that comes out. It could be out in 3 years, who knows. So yeah, that would be good to run around and do old stuff, and I've talked about it in one of these other previous episodes, about what I think of Classics. I won't go in too much into it, but I really do miss the old world as it was. On my other series, if you haven't seen it, my leveling series, Unexpected Journey, why not go watch it? It's good. I've done 29 episodes, I think. Anyway, on that I've talked about. I'm running around Stranglethorn Vale, and I've not really talked about it actually in that series, but it doesn't feel like Stranglethorn. You go to certain parts of it, and you're like, oh yeah, I remember this bit, you know, and other parts of it, it's like, what the hell's this place? And for me, it takes away from the game. Whether or not some quest's broken or this and that, you know, it's not the end of the world. You can fix broken quests, surely, without having to gut the game, as it were. And I don't know why they did that. And well, it's their game, they can do what they like, I guess. Well, right, we did not get it again. That was, what do we get? We got Arcus, Great Staff of Antonidas. I think I already got that. And a polearm, Oathbinder. Yeah, already got that. Well, there we go. That's it. That's when the episode ends. When we've killed the Lich King, and yet again he hasn't dropped it for me. What a git. Or maybe next week, hey. Hopefully I will be back next week and there won't be any more blips. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, leave a big thumbs up down below. That's one of them. That's a like. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing to the channel. And it leaves me say I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.